Hey there, guys, how's it going? Back with another movie review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the movie Afterlife, which came out several years ago, starring Liam Neeson and Christina Ricci. Now, this is I guess you could say, a psychological thriller. It was kind of marketed as a horror, however, it's really not a horror movie. It's just a very psychological, sort of artsy type film. And since I watched this one recently, we found out we had it in the back of our cupboard somewhere on DVD. And yeah, I just figured I'd give this one a review. And since I have a playlist of Liam Neeson movie reviews, I've basically reviewed a ton of Liam Neeson movies since he's the lead role in this movie. I figured I'd talk about this one. So basically, what happens in this movie is Christina Ricci plays a school teacher who is in a relationship with a character played by Justin Long, who is planning to propose to her. And basically, you get the sense that she's unhappy. She's just not happy with life. She's not happy with her job, her relationship. You can tell that the two are just drifting apart. And although he's really into her, she isn't really into him. And yeah, I mean, one of the early scenes of this movie is he's basically banging her, and she's just lying there, just still, and she doesn't give a shit, and she's not into it. And he's just like, "You used to enjoy this," and it's just it was kind of, there are some uncomfortable scenes like that in this movie, and but it did kind of make sense because you get the sense that this is just a depressed, miserable, like negative, broken individual who has just given up on life. And basically, what happens is she's in a car. She ends up in a car accident, and she crashes, and basically she wakes up in a morgue. She wakes up on a table, and her head is basically split open, and she's like, "What's going on?" And Liam Neeson is standing over her, and he's like, "It's okay, relax, you're dead." And then she's like, I can't be dead. What's going on?" And yeah, that's basically the big reveal in the movie is she's lying in this table on the morgue, and she's assumed to be dead. However, Liam Neeson explains that he has a gift where he can communicate with the dead and whatnot. And that basically starts this very trippy and very psychological, artsy thriller type movie where you're not quite sure what's going on for the first like act of the movie. However, what I will say about it, and one of my biggest negatives with this movie, and a reason why I can't really recommend it to people who like this type of thing and like twists and whatnot, the movie is incredibly, and I mean incredibly predictable. Like I figured it out within the first 20 minutes of the movie. I knew what was going on, and I knew exactly how it was going to end. Like I sat there actually with my fingers crossed, hoping that the movie wouldn't end exactly the way I thought it was going to end, and it did. So that's a big negative with this movie. Like there's really no subtlety, in my opinion, in regards to its twist. Like the twist and the what's really going on and all that. It's very predictable, and if you've seen movies like this, sort of psychological movies and whatnot, then it's very, very clear from early on in the movie what's going on. But that's not to say that it's a bad movie. It's actually somewhat well acted, and I gotta say, Liam Neeson's character. Now, Liam Neeson is one of the most versatile actors out there. He is, when he wants to be, he can be extremely heroic. He can be extremely heartwarming to listen to and stuff like that. And he's a very good narrator, and he's a very good like mentor figure. He's very good at playing mentors in movies, but he's also very, very good at playing a manipulator. Like he's very, very good at playing a deceiver. And his movie, like his character in this movie, is terrifying. Like this is one of the most terrifying performances from him because he's not, this isn't super badass. I'll kick your ass. I'll kill you with my thumb. Liam Neeson from Taken. This isn't that type of Liam Neeson. This is a very psychological and very somewhat psychopathic and somewhat unpredictable Liam Neeson. Like in this movie, he is extremely stoic, if you know what I mean. Like he look the scenes where him and Christina Ricci are basically looking into each other's eyes, and there's one scene in particular where she picks up a sharp item and puts it to his throat and threatens to cut his throat, and just the way he looks at her and the things he says in that scene. I don't really want to spoil it here, like the dialogue and what happens and whatnot, but the acting from Liam Neeson, like he really did save this movie. He carried this movie. He was fantastic. The acting performances from Justin Long. Now, Justin Long, you might remember he was in the first Jeepers Creepers movie, which is another very underrated horror film. And his acting performance in that movie was very, very good. And I felt that he was very good here. Just a very good character actor. Very you know, emotional, and just his character's like dealing with the death of his partner who he really loved, and he's just completely losing the plot. Like he feels as if he's going crazy, and I really did feel for his character. It was so sad and kind of depressing. When you see what's happening with his character and when you see what he's going through, you very much sympathize with him and his character. And there's a lot of, I guess you could say, like borderline nudity in this movie. Like if you like seeing Christina Ricci's ass, and if you like seeing her titties, you'll enjoy this movie because she spends half of this movie butt naked. But it's kind of awkward and creepy in the sense that she's supposed to be a corpse, but it's unclear what exactly is going on. But she's lying on this table in all these in compromising positions, and you do get to see her with like goosebumps and whatnot. You get like real close up images. The camera, whoever was operating the camera was having real fun during this movie. I can tell you that because he gets to zoom right in on her titties and zoom right in on her ass while there's all goosebumps and whatnot. So yeah, there's a lot of like tongue in cheek, borderline, just on that edge nudity here. Almost R rated, if you know what I mean, but it never really quite goes all the way. You don't see too much, and it's not cheesy, and it's not like cheap sexification. Like, it didn't really feel like that to me during the movie. It just felt as if it was somewhat on the edge. And interestingly enough, this film was actually directed by a woman. I forget the female's name who made this movie. Her name escapes me at the moment, but it was directed by a woman. So to see cinematography like that was a bit unusual. But yeah, if you like I said, if you like seeing that type of thing, if you've got a thing for Christina Ricci, yeah, you'll enjoy this movie. Put it that way. If you like Liam Neeson, as an actor, you'll enjoy this movie. The movie's certainly not boring. It's somewhat well written. The dialogue is interesting. Cinematography is pretty good. It's just my problem with it is it's a very predictable and very disappointing ending. I hated the ending. The ending pissed me off. It was an ending I predicted. It was an ending I knew was going to happen. It kind of. Do you know what this reminds me of? Do you guys remember last year I did a review for that movie? That other horror movie from 2008, Eden Lake, the one with Michael Fassbender. And you remember how I talked about how the ending of that movie felt like a slap in the face. It felt like it was the director was deliberately trying to piss off the audience with that ending, and it worked. Well, I got the same impression from the ending of this movie. Really pissed me off. I won't tell you what it is, but it was a very, very depressing and really negative ending, which I really didn't like. But as far as the movie goes, I think it was somewhat enjoyable, but I can't really recommend it just because I didn't like the ending and I didn't like the how predictable the twist was and the plot and whatnot. So I would give this movie maybe a 5 out of 10. It's an average movie. It's not a movie that I'd really want to watch again, but it's an okay watch. Okay, if you like I said, if you like Christina Ricci's titties, you'll enjoy this movie. Um, if you like, good dramatic acting from people like Liam Neeson and Justin Long. Liam Neeson, like I said, is excellent in the movie. Okay, he gives 100% to every one of his roles. He's a very, very talented actor. So, yeah, I give this movie a 5 out of 10. It's just average. It's split down the middle. It's not great. It's not terrible. It's 5 out of 10. Split down the middle. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Yeah, this is just a decent psychological thriller. So thanks for watching. God bless.